Hello kids, welcome back to the English class. In the last video, we read an excerpt from a famous novel, The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe, written by Daniel Defoe. We were reading part 3 of the novel, that is, Wrecked on a Desert Island, wherein the narrator has described his experiences when his ship was encountered with a storm in the sea. We read that when the narrator began his journey, the weather was excessively hot. But by the time they reached the height of Cape St. Augustino in Brazil, the weather became quite opposite. Their ship was struck upon the sand and suddenly they were not able to see the sight of land. Right. Then we read that immediately the sea broke over the ship. Right. And they were all about to die. Okay. We also read in the chapter that it was impossible for them to survive and everybody lost the hope of their survival. Right. Then after some time, the speed of the wind decreased, but that was not of much help to them. And then we saw that when the ship was struck upon the sand, there was no hope of getting her off from there. Right. So they started thinking that how to save themselves, how to save their lives from such a storm. But there was not much time to think upon. Why? Because their ship was going to break into pieces, and some of them also said that it has already broken into pieces. So suddenly the ship officer, the merchant of the ship, what he did, he just tried to manage holding the boat next to the ship, and somehow they shifted from the ship to that boat. All 11 of the members, they just surrendered themselves to the mercy of God. Then we also read that the storm was so high that they called it Den Wild Zee, as the Dutch people called the sea in the storm. Then their situation was so harsh that they knew that they will not be able to survive, and they also knew that they will drown. Then there was no way of making the sail ahead. Right. Then we read further that while they were trying to row their boat hard, suddenly a mountain-like wave came and it hit the boat on which they were sailing. Right. And as it hit the boat was overturned. Right. Then everybody was in a deep shock, and they even did not get time to remember God, and immediately they were swallowed by the sea that very moment. So this is what we have already discussed in the previous video. Now today we will begin from the second half part of page number 57. So I request all of you to check your books on page number 57, the literature reader books. Right? Okay. So it says, nothing can describe the confusion I felt as I sank into the water. So the narrator is not able to describe his confusion as he was falling in the water. Though I swam very well, yet I could not lift myself from the depth of the sea even to draw some breath. Now he is saying that I was able to swim very well, but I was not able to lift myself from the sea. It means the pressure of the water was so high that it was pushing me deep down in the sea. And moreover, even I was not able to take breath. Draw some breath means to take breath. He was not able to breathe. Suddenly, a wave lifted me and carried me along the way onto the shore of an island. And what happened after that? Suddenly, a wave came. The wave lifted the narrator and took him to the edge of an island. I was almost dead, as I had swallowed a lot of water. So, a lot of water had already gone inside him. So, he was half dead. With great difficulty, I got upon my feet and tried to make towards the land as far as I could. Now, when he was taken on the shore of the island, he got himself up. He took courage to move ahead towards the land, as far as I could, attempting to avoid another wave should it return and swamp me again. So he was trying hard to drag himself to the land because he thought that another wave might come and that will take him and swamp him again in the water. Swamp means, children, I have written it over here. Swamp means to flood him, to cover him again with water. So the narrator was scared that he should move towards the land quickly, otherwise some other wave will come and it might take him back to the water. The sea came after me as a great hill and as furiously as an enemy. Now, as the narrator tried moving towards the land, the sea came behind him. Sea means the water. The sea water went behind him like a furious enemy. Furiously means angrily, right? Like an angry enemy, it went behind him. I had no energy to fight it. I planned to hold my breath and raise myself above the water. Now the narrator is saying, when the wave came behind me like an enemy, like a great hill, I had no energy to fight against that. Okay, so because why he had no energy? Because he had already been inside the water for a long time and he became quite weak. But what did he do? He tried to hold his breath and raise himself above the water. Moving ahead with the next page, the narrator says, I planned to hold my breath and raise myself above the water if I could. What he was trying to do, he was trying to hold his breath and push him above the water. He was trying to raise himself above the water and try to pilot myself to the shore. Pilot myself means to steer himself, to steer somebody. So he was trying to guide himself towards the shore. I was afraid that the wave that carried me away from the shore might not bring me back to the shore again. Now he has a fear in his mind that the wave which is carrying him away from the shore will not bring him back to the shore again. It may throw me deeper into the sea. And there was a fear in his mind that the wave will throw him back into the sea quite deep. Then the next paragraph says, the wave buried me at once 20 or 30 feet deep in its own body. Now the wave buried him. Buried him means pushed him inside the water in its own body. And I could feel myself carried with a mighty force and swiftness towards the shore. And he felt as if he was being carried towards the shore with a great power. Underline the words, children, difficult words. I have already highlighted it in the picture. You can see at once means immediately. So write down, the wave immediately buried him deep in its body. And mighty force. Mighty means strong force. With swiftness. Swiftness means fastness or with speed. Right? I held my breath and tried to swim forward with all my might. What did the narrator do then? With all his strength, all his power, he tried to swim forward to the shore. I was almost going to burst due to holding my breath. Burst means the narrator was about to break because for a long time he has been holding his breath. However, surprisingly, I felt myself rising up. And suddenly what happened? He found, to his surprise, he saw that he was rising above the water. To my immediate relief, I found my head and hands shoot out above the surface water. And he was in great relief when he saw that his hands and head were shooting out of the water. Okay? Though it was just for 2 seconds. And for how much time was he out of the water? Just for 2 seconds. Imagine. Yet it relieved me greatly. It gave me breath and new courage. But those 2 seconds made the narrator relaxed, made him comforted. Relieved means relaxed or comforted. Why? Because for those 2 seconds also he was able to breathe. Okay. soon covered again with water and again thrown to land. Now, after he was, after his hands and head were visible above the water, he felt a great relief because he could breathe, right? And he had gathered new courage. He became brave. Courage means bravery. So he gathered the courage again. But soon he was covered again with water. Again the waves covered him and he was thrown to land. And the waves threw him to the land. I felt ground again with my feet, and he could feel that there was ground, not water, but his feet were on ground. So he understood that now he was on land. Okay. I stood still a few moments to catch my breath until the water went from me, and then took to my heels and ran with whatever strength I had further towards the shore. Now the narrator is saying, as soon as he felt that he was on ground, his feet were with the ground again, he stood still for some time, for few moments, took his breath again, and then immediately took to his heels. Took to his heels means, took to my heels means began to run away, and immediately he began to run away towards the shore. But this did not help me from the fury of the sea. Fury, children, you already know, fury means anger. But this also was not able to save the narrator from the anger of the sea, which came pouring in after me again. And as he was moving towards the shore, as he was running towards the shore, the angry sea came running towards him again. Pouring him means flowing in. It means the sea came flowing in after him. So he was again carried back by the sea water, and twice more I was lifted up by the waves and carried forward as before. And more than 2 times he was lifted by the wave and carried forward as before. The last time of these 2 times, now he's sharing his experience that the last time was almost deadly to me. It was almost, breathtaking. It was almost so scary, because the sea, having hurried me along as before, landed me, or rather dashed me. Now why that was scary? Because the sea dashed him against the piece of rock. Now dashed means the sea crashed him. See, crashed him against the piece of rock. Now what will you happen if you dash your head against the piece of rock? You will get hurt. You will lose your sense. So that left me senseless and helpless. So same happened with the narrator also. After he was dashed against the piece of rock, he was left senseless and helpless. Senseless means he lost all his sense, and he was helpless. He was not able to do anything to save himself. I was badly hit on my side and chest. This beat the breath out of my body, and he was badly injured on his side, and also on his chest, which took the breath out of his body. If the wave had returned immediately, now the narrator is saying, had the wave come back immediately, I might have been smothered. Smothered in the water means, he's saying that if the wave might have returned, if the wave had come back, it would have smothered me. Smothered means killed inside the water, covering nose and mouth. If you smother somebody means to kill somebody inside the water by suffocating himself. Okay, suffocating himself by covering his nose and mouth. So the narrator is saying, if the wave would have come back immediately, I would have been smothered in the water. I hope this much is clear to you. We have completed page number 58. We begin the explanation from page 59. It says, I recovered a little before the return of the waves. Now, before the waves returned, the narrator had recovered. Okay, so he was back to normal before the waves came back again. Seeing that I could be covered again with the water, I decided to hold fast by the piece of the rock and to hold my breath if possible till the wave went back. Now he was scared that the wave will carry him back again in the water, so he thought of holding the piece of rock and to hold his breath by the time the wave will come and go back. Now, as the waves were not so high at first, I held my hold till the wave decreased. So he was holding the piece of rock till the wave decreased and the speed of the wave was not high as before. As soon as I had a chance, I tried to run again. And as he got the chance, he tried to run away. This brought me so near to the shore that the next wave, though it went over me, yet did not so swallow me. So he's saying that I moved towards the land. The wave came over me, but it could not take me back again because I was closer to the land area. It could not carry me away. And with the next run I got to the mainland. And since the wave was not able to carry the narrator back to the sea, he immediately ran to the mainland. There I clambered up the cliffs of the shore and sat myself down upon the grass, free from the danger and quite out of the water's reach. Now he is saying, as I got the chance, I immediately clambered. Clambered means climbed. Now what did the narrator do? As the waves did not carry him back into the sea, he climbed on the cliff. Cliff, children, cliff is a sharp rock at the edge of the sea. So it is in a conical shape and it is vertical. Okay, so that was there at the edge of the sea and the narrator immediately climbed up the cliff and he sat upon the grass, free from the danger. Now there was no scope of danger and quite out of water's reach, and he was completely out of water's reach. I'll show you the picture of cliff. So this is how the cliff looks like. It is a steep rock. Steep means a vertically rising sharp rock at the edge of the sea. So the narrator climbed up somewhat this kind of cliff and he sat down there upon the grass and he was free from danger and also he was out of the water's reach. Now let us read ahead and see what happens next. I was now landed and safe on the shore and began to look up and thank God that my life was saved. So now the narrator was happy and he looked up in the sky and thanked God for saving his life. Just a few minutes ago, I had no hope of being alive. So just a few moments ago, the condition was so extreme that he had lost all his hope of survival. It is impossible to express what the joys are when one is so saved from death. Then the narrator is saying it is not possible for me to express what the joys are. Joys means what the happiness is when one is escaped from death. Escape means, children, manage to get away, to save oneself from death. So he's saying I'm not able to express myself. I'm not able to show my happiness. That how happy am I after being saved from the storm. I walked about on the shore, lifting up my hands and whole being. And now he was walking on the shore in a very comfortable manner. And he was just lifting his hands and his whole body, wrapped up in a meditation of my escape from death. And he was just meditating because he had escaped from death. I made thousands of gestures and motions which I cannot describe. Now he made so many gestures and movements to express his happiness and which is impossible to describe. I reflected upon all my comrades who had drowned. Now the narrator is thinking about the comrades. Reflected means thought upon. What? Comrades, about the comrades, his fellow friends who had drowned. So he was the only lucky one who saved his life. So we have completed, children, page 59. Now let's move over to the last page, page number 60. I wondered why there wasn't anyone saved but myself. Now the narrator is thinking that why only he was saved and his friends had drowned. because I only saw 3 of their hats, 1 cap and 2 shoes that were not a pair. And why did how did he come to know that they all have drowned? Because there he found 3 of their hats, 1 cap and 2 shoes, right? And those 2 shoes belonged to 2 different pairs. So one of each pair was lying there. I looked for the shipwrecked vessel, but the froth of the sea being so big hardly let me see it. Then after that, the narrator tried to look for the shipwrecked vessel, the damaged ship, but he was not able to see because the foam of the sea was so big. Froth means foam. Okay. After I had consoled my mind, I began to look around me to see what kind of place I was in and what was next to be done. Now, after he had relaxed his mind, he was trying to see that which place had he actually come and what had he to do next in order to survive. I was wet, had no dry clothes to change, nor anything to eat or drink. He was drenched, he was completely wet, and he had no clothes to change or even nothing to eat or drink. I had no choice but to die from hunger or be eaten by wild beasts. Beasts, children, means wild animals. So he thought that he had only 2 options, either to die or to be eaten by hungry animals. I had no weapon. There was no weapon with him because everything had sunk in the sunk in the sea. I had no weapon either to hunt or kill any wild animal. I only had a knife and 2 more possessions. Now the only thing that he had was a knife and 2 more possessions. Possessions means belongings. 2 more things were there. You can say a kind of weapon was there, or maybe something else, a wood or something, which was the only thing that he had. These were all my provisions. So 1 knife and 2 other things were the only provisions. Provisions means the only means that he had. This worried me so much that for a while I ran about like a madman. Now this had made the narrator so much worried that he was running around here and there like a madman, thinking what will he do next. Night coming upon me, I began with a heavy heart to plan how I would save myself from hungry beast. Now the night was about to come up and he was thinking of how to save himself from hungry animals. Otherwise, he would be eaten up by the animals there. The last paragraph of the chapter says, I walked about a furlong from the shore to see if I could find any fresh water to drink. Now, since the narrator was inside the sea for a long time, so he could not drink sea water as it is salty. So he was looking for fresh water. As he walked about a furlong, furlong is a measure of distance or of around say 200 meters. Okay. So he was trying to get some fresh water. To my great joy, I found sweet water. And he was happy when he found sweet water. I drank to my stomach's fill, and finally he drank that sweet water and filled his stomach to quench his thirst. Then I went to a nearby tree and getting up into it, I tried to place myself so that if I should fall asleep, I might not fall. Now nearby he went to a tree, and what did he do? He got up into that tree and he was trying to place himself in such a manner so that if he falls asleep, he must not fall down. I cut for myself a short stick, and then he cut a short stick from there like a club. Club, children, means like a weapon for defense, for his protection, for his safety. Then I took up my lodging. Took up means then I occupied my place. Lodging is the place where you stay, right? So like in hotels we get lodgings. Okay, so lodging means a place where you stay. So he took up his lodging, he took up his place, and having been excessively fatigued, I fell fast asleep. And since he was excessively fatigued, excessively means extremely, fatigued means tired. Okay, so since the narrator was extremely tired, he fell asleep and quickly he went off to sleep. So children, this is how the narrator was able to survive in the deadly storm. Okay, now after this also, though the chapter ends here, but since I told you that it is a complete novel, after this also there are different parts wherein he has described what did he do in that island. He spent a number of years on that island. So he has described in his novel. Then you can, if you wish to read, you can just read the complete novel, but for the test point of view, just go through this chapter again, revise both the videos properly, the part 1 also and the part 2 that we have discussed today. If any confusion, you may ask. All right, I hope the chapter is very much clear to you. Thank you everyone. That's all for today.